Donald Trump is going to war for former Democrat Jeff Van Drew, announcing he will hold a campaign rally in Wildwood, New Jersey. New Jersey is a blue state. Trump has no reason, for the most part, to campaign in New Jersey. It's going to go blue. Except one, helping the former Democrat win his reelection. And to me, this is really crazy, because I want to show you some stuff, man. Jeff Van Drew is not a Republican. But because he was willing to back the president, Trump is going to do a rally in his district. Now, here's the thing. It's crazy to me, man. I basically live here, okay? I don't live in Wildwood. I don't live in New Jersey's 2nd District where Van Drew represents. But I'm seriously like a mile away from where I'm in NJ1, which is, it's like the only blue pocket in South Jersey. Because it's basically the Philly suburbs. When I heard this news, I thought it was nuts. Trump is going to go defend a guy who's voted against him, who disagrees with them on a ton of policy issues, but he is moderate, so he agrees with Republicans on some things. Let's read this, and I want to explain to you what's going on in South Jersey. I believe this may be one of the most important battlegrounds for Donald Trump in 2020 for one reason. If he can successfully defend a former Democrat who's pledged allegiance to Trump, I know I'm being a little hyperbolic when I say that, but he said, you have my support, and Trump endorsed him. This sends a massive shockwave to the Democrats who have lost a moderate member as people like AOC threaten the moderates. How many of them are going to say, if I come out for Trump, they're going to defend my district and I'm going to keep representing my people? Yeah, this might be a message to the moderates. If you do not get on board, or if you stay on with the Democrats, they will sacrifice you. But if you support Trump, he will defend you. Let's read. This is from Philly Voice. Trump will host a MAGA rally. Actually, it's a CAG rally, Keep America Great, in Wildwood on January 28th. I am going there. His campaign announced on Monday. Seriously, I'm like right here. It's not that far away from me. Granted, it's on like the water, so it's not like super close, but this is basically where I live. The location of the event falls within the congressional district of Rep. Van Drew, who recently switched his party affiliation to Republican. Van Drew is expected to attend. Following a meeting with Trump in the Oval Office last month, Van Drew announced he was planning to leave the Democratic Party, a move that many, including Governor Phil Murphy, believe to be a campaign strategy. I'm going to call BS. I mean, to an extent, sure. But what, you're telling me that all the other Democrats who have sacrificed their offices weren't doing it because of party lines? Please don't play games with me. We know why everyone's doing everything. The freshman congressman is up for re-election this year. As a Democrat, he would have faced a difficult primary against candidate Bridget Harrison, a political science professor from Montclair State University. Also, Ann Kennedy, a wife of former Rhode Island Rep. Patrick Kennedy, on Monday announced her bid. I'll have that story in a second. This will be the president's 4th rally in 2020. Trump held the first campaign in Miami, launching Evangelicals for Trump. Then came after Evangelical Today, a Christian publication. Yeah, I don't care about this stuff. 2 rallies will precede the president's New Jersey appearance, including a rally on Thursday. Now, here's the thing. Trump is pulling out all the stops. Washington Examiner says Trump fires up re-election campaign early. Trump is getting into these rallies before most people ever do. Check this out. They say he's actively campaigning for re-election earlier than any incumbent in modern history, with a flurry of major events scheduled in just the first 2 weeks of 2020. So here's what I want to focus on. I get it. Trump's campaigning. I want to show you this stuff. I want to talk about this place in which I live. Now, I'm in here. See this one? For those that are listening, I've got a map of the congressional districts of New Jersey. And we can see that the urban centers up here, 8, 9, 10, and 13, 6, and 12, these districts are bordering, for the most part, New York City. You've got Staten Island over here. You've got Bayonne. And then you've got, very obvious like Jersey City and all that stuff. So this is basically New York City runoff. So, of course, it's blue. You've also got Newark. But when you come to South Jersey, you've got District 1, which is where I live, which is basically a Philadelphia suburb. I'm like, seriously, 10 minutes from Philly. I just crossed the bridge and I'm there. But then you've got 2, the 2nd District, Jeff Van Drew, and it is red. Now, here's what's crazy. This district went for, so I'll come back to redistricting in a second. This district is R+1. It is a Republican district. Jeff Van Drew won it as a Democrat. You know why? The blue wave. That's right. Let me show you something. I'm going to go back to redistricting. They say this. So I don't want to, this talks, so this is the New Jersey Redistricting Commission Wikipedia page. And right here, it says this. In 2018, U.S. states' House of Representative elections were dominated by a blue wave of Democratic wins, with Democrats winning 11 of the 12 districts. So I don't understand why it says 13. I don't know what that means. I think they may have combined some. I'm not going to read too much into it. They say that after 2010, they combined the 13 House seats into 12 districts. But they basically said 11 of the 12 were won by Democrats. That's actually really crazy when you see this map. Shows that, I mean, look, you've got 3, 4, 5, 6 districts that were Republican flipped Democrat. No surprise that a lot of the districts where Democrats took over in the blue wave were in blue states. Here's what happened. Donald Trump's base, as many of you, if you listen to my content, they didn't come out. Okay, they didn't come out in 2018. According to the New York Times, at least, whether or not you want to trust them, that's what it seems like. What ends up happening then is all of these Democrats who really hate Trump came out and they swung things slightly in favor of the Democrats. Jeff Van Drew won. But here's the thing, man. I think Jeff Van Drew did the right thing. Let me zoom in so you can see it better, right? So I got Jeff Van Drew's political positions pulled up. The dude is a moderate. At this point, considering how far left the left has gone and how crazy they've gotten, it's very rational, in my opinion, that he joins the Republican Party, except for a few things. So here's why I want to read this about Jeff Van Drew. Donald Trump supporting this guy, to me, is nuts. Now, you've got Seth Grossman. He's the Republican in New Jersey's second. I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be a primary. But I think the Republican Party is going to throw everything behind Jeff Van Drew to prove a point. If you're a moderate Democrat and you defect, the president has your back for loyalty. And I think they're going to try and make sure Jeff Van Drew beats Seth Grossman to make the statement. Jeff Van Drew winning again is so bad for Democrats, proving that he made the right move. So they need to make sure he loses. That's why I think New Jersey second is going to be one of the biggest political battlegrounds in the country. Jeff Van Drew is the one Democrat to defect at a national level. And the Democrats and Republicans need to make sure that they get that victory. If Jeff Van Drew loses, the Democrats will say he should have been a Democrat and should have defended us. But if he wins, the Republicans will be like, he did the right thing. You get the point. Check this out. They say this. In 2007, Van Drew remarked, "I'm proud to be a Democrat because to me, it always represented working people, middle-class people, and issues of compassion." During his congressional primary campaign, he had a 100% rating from the National Rifle Association. In 2007 and 2008, he received 2,700 from National Shooting Sports Foundation. This dude's pro 2A. In 2010, he sponsored legislation that would allow residents to carry handguns after going through a background check, taking a firearms training course, passing a test, and paying a $500 fee. That one actually sounds like anti. This dude's a moderate. They say he voted as the only Democrat against a series of 10 gun control bills following the events in Connecticut, which if I say, YouTube's going to punish me. Van Drew also voiced support for expanded background checks and regulation for silencers. Despite his pro-gun stance, the gun control group Moms Demand Action designated Van Drew a gun sense candidate because he's been moderate. He was looking at, background checks and training and all that stuff. As a state senator, he voted against same-sex marriage. Now you might be thinking he's a Republican. But let's get to some of the bigger issues of why he might work for the Republican Party. He voted against the minimum wage, which many people where I live agree with, okay? So I'm in NJ1. I kid you not, if I drive a mile, I'm in Van Drew's district. It's very close to me. It's a relatively small district I live in. I've talked to people. They do not like the minimum wage increase because they feel that it's going to dramatically increase the prices for small business while protecting Starbucks and Walmart and McDonald's, Subway, etc. These big chains can absorb these costs because other businesses those profits will subsidize other stores. But small businesses have to see overnight their costs go up by 10, 20, 30%. So a lot of people here are moderate and don't agree with it. They say this. He supported fully funding children's health insurance programs, protecting net neutrality, not a Republican position. They say, as state senator, he withdrew sponsorship of a bill to reinstate the death penalty in the state, which he previously favored. Now, here's where it gets interesting. He opposes offshore drilling. In 2019, he joined Republican John Rutherford to introduce Atlantic Coastal Economies Protection Act, which would prohibit seismic airgun testing in the Atlantic Ocean. The state senator previously voted to withdraw regional greenhouse gas initiative and supported the construction of a pipeline through the Pinelands. That doesn't sound like a Democrat. They say this. He has a 0% rating from the National Right to Life Coalition and a 100% rating from Planned Parenthood, 0% from Conservative Review. Okay, so forgive me, it's kind of droll and boring, but I needed to highlight this for a few reasons. This guy, if I was going to lay all these things out, is a Democrat. Just barely. If the Democrats lose him and Trump now going to Wildwood, which is essentially going to be pushing for Jeff Van Drew, he's showing his support for someone like Van Drew. If Van Drew wins, it means the Republican tent got bigger. They're accepting of more ideas, and that means the Democrats are going to lose so much. Because I'll tell you what, man, a lot of independent voters down here, they don't care if you're a D or an R. They really don't. They want to know that you're for sane, moderate policy. They're regular suburban people. And look, you got your diehards, you got your crazy progressives, you got your staunch conservatives. But a lot of people are in the middle saying, be reasonable, please. They don't care if the dude's a Democrat or Republican. We are not in one of these districts where, like Nancy Pelosi says, you slap a D on a glass of water, the glass of water wins. Not here. Here, they want to know what you're talking about. So Jeff Van Drew, his positions matter. So here's the thing. Ann Kennedy is running against him. This ad offended me. Okay, I got no beef against, Amy Kennedy. She's running in the second. I don't live here, so that doesn't affect me for the most part. But she says Van Drew and Trump are a symptom, blah, blah, blah. She blames them both. There she goes. Symptoms of a bigger sickness affecting our country. How dare you? Jeff Van Drew, a moderate who has been considered sensible on gun policy, who has a 100% rating from Planned Parenthood? Please. You know what, man? Disaffected liberals are going to see what Jeff Van Drew is doing. And with Trump's support, they will get all of these other independent voters who are going to say, I don't care if you're Trump. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I just want the guy who's being reasonable. And that's Jeff Van Drew. Now, Jeff Van Drew got that boost from the blue wave. These were the crazy staunch progressives who are now coming out calling him a sickness. You know what, man? The only thing Jeff Van Drew did wrong was that he didn't support impeachment. And she's calling him a sickness because of it. I cannot stand these people. Jeff Van Drew was the perfect Democrat for all of them. Voting with Nancy Pelosi, getting that 100% Planned Parenthood rating. He was a moderate, fine. But they voted for him. They backed him. And now they're calling him a sickness. Why? One reason. He said, I will not support impeachment. These people are insane. You know what, man? All they care about is whether or not you're blue and the D is next to your name. That's it. Well, I don't. And many people down here don't. And you see this now, this weird hypocrisy of calling him a sickness when for the longest time you supported him up until he refused to back impeachment. Impeachment for what? Trump's been accused of no crimes. I get it. You don't like the guy. But how dare you, how could you rally, go out in a blue wave and say, Jeff Van Drew, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. And then you wait, he didn't vote for impeachment? He's a sickness who must be purged. You're nuts. These people are crazy, man. And whatever this, you know what I'll tell you, man? The sickness is on the left. That's what it is. I'm going to keep this one short. I'll wrap it up here. That pissed me off. I'll see you all at 4 p.m. on the main channel, youtube.com/Timcast.